So it's Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy for the IWGP United States Championship. Ospreay is out with Aussie Open, and Kevin Kelly is explaining the whole United States title situation with Juice Robinson, and JR says, how about we start talking about the wrestling that we're about to see? Point taken, and we're moving on to the match. Enough of this backstory.
Ouch.
I mean, in fairness, it is pretty confusing if you have not been paying attention and all this stuff. Why does Juice have the title that he is not the champion of? He's talking about the appendicitis and everything.
It is confusing, but I think it deserves to be at least, mentioned, don't you think? Like, why is he not holding the belt, and why are you showing Juice Robinson?
Well, it's a long story, and I don't think it's a great story. So It's like, okay, yep, this is all it. And Jim Ross, he had to keep us on time. Okay, there's only so much satellite time.
It's been. I mean, if this show has been plagued with injuries, this championship is has been plagued just as much. So
you don't want this title. So Juice. El Fantasmo and Hikuleo were showing watching in the box, but that was their involvement. Cassidy starts with his hands in the pockets and then does a multiple revolution tilt-a-whirl head scissors, sending Will to the floor, and then he does Will's pose in the center in his way, which was very funny. Ospreay, this is where he runs around the ring and he blasts Cassidy into the guardrail. Just insane. And then it's Will in control for a long period of time. He puts him in an abdominal stretch and he reaches down and puts his hand in Cassidy's pocket and then pulls it out, and he's got the middle finger for the crowd. We're like, oh, that's so mean. And he's getting all this heat from the crowd. Cassidy puts his hands back in his pockets and lands the drop kick, and he does his version of the Kawada kicks, like these light Kawada kicks. But then he fires up and hits him with the real ones, and Taz is explaining it's not about not trying to hurt you, it's psyching you out to explain this.
I like that we've gotten to the point where this indie GCW one note gimmick is being explained and justified as strategy by Taz. Great.
Yeah, they do this in judo all the time.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He bashes Will's head into the corner camera where it just goes black because we're from the perspective of the corner cam.
They knocked the camera out.
Yeah.
Dislodged it.
It's I can't believe we haven't seen this done before, but it was...
Well, those things are expensive, that's why.
I guess you go all out on your big pay-per-view here. And then Cassidy pretends to be hurt while Will is still on the turnbuckle getting his bearings, and he goes for a moonsault, misses, tries another one, misses, and then hits a standing shooting star, goes off the turnbuckle, and this sequence ends with a beach break for a near fall.
My mind was blown here, okay? At the whatever psychology there was supposed to be, because I don't know exactly why was Orange Cassidy lying down? Was he going for he was going for some sort of Eddie Guerrero thing, right?
Yeah, I think the idea was that he was going to play possum.
And then but
he still got kind of outsmarted because he got hit with this shooting star press, but then Ospreay went back onto the turnbuckle and then landed on the knees. So
this is the brilliance, John. This was a mini chess game that we saw. So here we have Orange Cassidy thinking, I'm going to outsmart this guy using the Eddie Guerrero trick. Will Ospreay is saying, oh, he's going for the Eddie Guerrero trick. I'm going to go for a double jump moonsault. So when he moves out of the way, I'm going to hit him the second time.
He knew,
obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
He planned for the double jump moonsault, and then when Cassidy avoided the second jump, he went for the third, with the shooting star press. And then even after that, he goes back up top, and then Orange Cassidy gets the last laugh by getting the knees up.
By your definition, based on that observation and the fact that Cassidy ducked the hidden blade, both guys have eyes in the back of their head.
Completely, yes.
So then Orange Cassidy leaps into a cutter. There's an Os cutter for a 2. The crowd is going electric by this point. Cassidy ducks the hidden blade. The Stormbreaker gets countered into a Rana where Cassidy hooks the legs. The crowd totally buys into it. And then Ospreay hits the hidden blade and Cassidy kicks out, and they lose their minds on this kick out. And the hidden blade, Will start to have kickouts for the hidden blade, but it's still a finisher that everyone bites on, and then finishes him with the Stormbreaker in 16 minutes and 47 seconds. At this point, I'm watching this. I'm like, this is show of the year candidate.
Yeah. Yeah. In succession, all of these matches on the main card. I think this might've been my match of the night, John. This was incredible.
I think it might've been a lot of people's.
It was incredibly fast and a great reminder that none of us should be looking down on Orange Cassidy simply because of his gimmick. Underneath the gimmick is an incredible professional wrestler, and he proved it here with Will Ospreay. I mean, yes, he was up against like, you know, the Mercedes of you know, professional wrestlers in Will Ospreay. But I think you can really appreciate Orange Cassidy because like they've perfected his gimmick in that like they only bring it out in small enough doses to still, you know, make him memorable, while at the same time never taking away from his babyface fire, his great comebacks, and his appeal as a serious threat. Might have been the best Orange Cassidy match I've seen.
This was excellent. It was just a tremendous match. This was one of my favorite lines, maybe on any broadcast this whole year. So Aussie Open run out, and they're attacking they're attacking Cassidy, and they tear his jean pockets. And Jim Ross goes, as if he can't buy more jeans.
Fuck.
And he lets it pause. Symbolic. This is symbolic. As if he can't go and buy more jeans.
I think Jim Ross would be a great heel commentator for AEW or for GCW. Like he should go to GCW and be the heel commentator, like making fun of all this bullshit. Him calling like the clusterfuck would be the best thing in the world.
I do not see an invisible man.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Roppongi Vice then run down and they make the save, and then all of a sudden they hear the music, and dude, this place loses their mind. It's Katsuyori Shibata. And he comes out, dude, just kills Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher on the ramp, and he gets into the ring with Ospreay, and they start to go at it, and he drills this dude with a pump kick, boots Davis off of the apron, and a baseball slide drop kick to Ospreay, applies the rear naked choke when Aussie Open pull Will to the floor and leave as Shibata is just sitting there cross-legged, and Orange Cassidy comes into the ring. They have a face-to-face, and he puts the glasses onto Shibata, and Cassidy does the thumbs pose, and Shibata really liked this. He was like totally into it. Guy smiled.
Did he smile?
He smiled because they cut away, and then they were like, go back, there's more. And Shibata was just kind of like playing it up and stuff with Cassidy in the ring.
I don't know how much playing up there was, though, because yeah, this whole thing at the end was a little bit confusing. First of all, like what a reaction, you know, and what a wonderful surprise for this crowd to see like somebody who is rarely seen in a professional wrestling.
It was kind of the setting. Only like other than what we'll get to the next match, but in terms of like someone showing up as a surprise, like, you know, we had the talk about, do you do something with Punk on this show or an Omega? And they left it to Shibata. Like this was kind of your lone kind of unadvertised appearance of someone notable. And
I wonder if this one was simply like, oh, Shibata's hanging out in the back anyway with all LA Dojo guys. Tony Khan maybe just like, do you want to do something with Orange Cassidy? I don't know. That'll be fun. And he just comes out. They got his music, and great moment here.
This felt like an angle they were shooting with Ospreay, though.
You're right. Yeah. So maybe there's more to it.
Like they did enough here, though. As history has dictated, Shibata sometimes can play fast and loose and set up matches that have no intention of being made.
So absolutely, there's that, and that's what I was wondering about with this awkwardness in this Orange Cassidy exchange here. Like I think in AEW's mind, or in the announcer's mind, or Tony Khan's mind, this segment was to end with the sunglasses. And then for whatever reason, like Shibata calls Orange Cassidy back into the ring. And then like we cut back to it, and it's like, I don't know if like Cassidy knew what was going on. They didn't, it's not like they posed again. It like Shibata almost ended up looking disappointed that Cassidy didn't want to engage in something. Like did Shibata just want to like fight more or something like that? Go rogue like on an AEW
Slap
show.
me.
Yeah, I don't know. This part was a bit weird, but interesting.
Well,